What's up, gang? That's what the kids are saying. That's what the streamers call each other, gang. So I'm just trying to
chat.
Just trying to stay young. Yeah. What's up, gang?
So gang is back. Gangs are back.
I think it's chat, isn't it? What's up, chat? What's up,
well, those
chat?
are different. Those are different use cases.
I think it's gang with a Y. Gangy.
Gangy is big. So, you say what's up, gang, like, to your friends. Chat, obviously, if you're talking, it seems like, chat if you're talking to a crowd or to your audience. Just no big deal. But as the resident youth on the podcast, I think it's important for me to keep you elderly folks in the loop,
Yeah, I'm not watching any of those guys.
Well, I will, gang.
Gangy.
I'm a chat guy.
Oh, man. Yeah, well, big weekend for your boy, Anand.
I know. My favorite celebrity, Kai Cenat, was at Fanatics Fest this past weekend. The Michael Rubin is it the Super Bowl of sports? What is it?
No, it's
I think it's just promotion for their gambling.
Yeah, I mean, it's
so
their business. Yeah,
just
cards,
brand awareness,
sports.
play.
Yeah, it's incredible marketing event.
So Kai was live streaming the whole time, and he met LeBron James, Tom Brady, Kevin Durant, like you name whatever famous athlete that there is, they were all there.
Yep.
And I can't tell you how many clips I saw of just like how brilliant it is to just let these streamers come in.
Yeah.
Because Kai made the festival, in my opinion.
Well, yeah. I mean, I would imagine if you're Kai's manager, I mean, think about this. If you're Kai's manager, I would imagine every event in the world is probably in your inbox asking you to come, right?
Yeah.
Formula One. Look, the biggest name, whatever it is, Dubai for something. They have to.
Yeah, I think mainstream events want someone like him to come. I'll give you an example. Do you know the fashion brand The Row?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't let any influencers at their show. Right? Yes. They let zero. If they think you're an influencer, they do not let you in the show.
Right.
At Fashion Week. They do not want you there.
Well, that makes sense. That's like a brand choice. But that's my point is I think mainstream events want these guys here. Why not? These guys, they probably had to pay him nothing, maybe paid for his flight. And the guy went and streamed.
Well, because he makes all the money off the stream. I mean, in the middle of one of his streams, he's about to meet LeBron James and Justin Bieber FaceTimes Kai. He answers. He's like, oh, shit, Bieber's FaceTiming me. He's like, yo, I'm on stream because he didn't want to like out him whatever the hell he's going to say. Right. He's like, all right, bet. And they hung up. Bet. But that's insane. Bieber, LeBron James, and Kai.
So I would say on the Fanatics Fest thing, it was really well done because I saw a lot of videos and clips. None of my clips were Kai Cenat. He didn't hit my feed.
Yeah.
Like the fact that like that level of athletes, I mean, like Tom Brady and LeBron, they're like the greatest ever to do anything. Like Zach was just saying B-2 Bomber, Zach White's in the studio today. Zach was just saying B-2 Bomber is the greatest piece of hardware in American history or modern American history. I forgot what you said.
The Tom Brady of warfare.
Yeah, Tom Brady and LeBron are the two greatest Americans ever.
Well, fair. That's a fair opinion.
I mean, here's what I'll say. I would say they're great because they've brought more people joy than anyone else.
That's what I would say. Right. LeBron and Brady have brought more joy than I don't know two other Americans other than like Kobe and Michael Jordan.
Listen, it's a valid opinion. It's nothing I would argue with you on. I think a lot of people probably have their top Americans. That's yours. I think it's totally valid.
Okay, give me yours. Name a top American for you.
He's going to say some shitty author.
No. I don't even want to try to be all. I don't want to be all. I don't know. But I would put. I personally.
Greatest
joy to tens of millions of people.
I don't know. Yeah, but you're judging by the joy metric. Like what about
Yeah,
You know,
I don't
the
think
inventor of what about
I agree.
Benjamin Franklin?
For me, my
Right,
metric
fair.
is joy.
Yeah.
Tom Brady and LeBron have brought me more happiness than any other American.
Yeah.
You can
That's
go
fair.
by impact.
Look,
Yep.
Drama doesn't even like sports. Remember, we watched that Game 7 in Santa Monica, off Santa Monica, the Cavs Warriors. How much fun was that?
Yeah, listen, I'm not even.
Pick your American.
I don't know. I don't know.
That was 2016.
Zach, pick an American.
Zach probably has good ones.
Pick an American who's brought more joy than LeBron. Well, isn't it kind of like both of these guys are pretty polarizing? Because if you are on the other side of the things that they've accomplished, you kind of hate them.
That's fine. It doesn't have to be sports. I'm just saying.
Okay.
I don't think this is an objective question.
I mean, for me, it is. It's pretty clear.
Right. But I think this is a debatable, no matter who you pick.
No, it doesn't have to be sports.
It doesn't have to be, no. You could say Steve Jobs, I guess.
Yeah, I'll go with Steve Jobs.
Okay.
People love the iPhone.
They really do. That has brought a lot of joy and misery to a lot of people.
That could have been a negative on America.
How many kids love a good iPad? Like, you know, he's been bringing joy for generations.
Okay, that's a good one.
And he did Pixar. Pixar made a lot of people happy.
Yes, Pixar actually probably brought more joy than iPhones.
I mean, for sure, for the record, just Steve Jobs created more joy than Tom Brady and LeBron combined.
That's fine.
If you like Candy Crush, everything that everyone does on their iPhones, just pure joy.
Global joy.
Yeah.
The problem with the iPhone,
Cruise.
is it let the rest of the world catch up to America. So he's anti-American.
Well,
if no one else got an iPhone, we would be so far ahead of everyone else.
I would say Tom Cruise.
Who invented the B-2 bomber?
Zach knows
Lockheed Martin, or Northrop Grumman, one of the two.
Yeah, Steve Jobs is a good one. Okay, well, listen. So Fanatics Fest. I mean, the wrap up of that is, number one, Kai is just the GOAT. I think that like the other thing that you could have never guessed is this format of like streaming in real life. You know, the other thing that I saw is like these kids carry around $30,000 backpacks that allow them to stream in real life with no lag on their feed. Like it's this crazy item that is like coveted if you're a streamer. And just the format of being able to do that is just insane. And the fact that like the possibilities are endless. I mean, Kai can go to anything. All these kids can go to anything. It's also like, it just makes you wonder what a future event will look like. You know, like I think now everyone has their phone up at like a concert, but I think in the future, as everyone's streaming, when you see these people, all these kids are doing like streamer prom and streamer parties, and everyone's just like, you have to have a camera guy like we used to back in the Young and Reckless days, except for they're just following you at all times, streaming everything you do, every interaction, every cute girl you flirt with, everything is content. Your whole life is content. And the possibilities are just endless. They can go anywhere.
Yeah. So I think that's fine. But I think the only reason why in this case, Kai's stream was remotely interesting is because Fanatics basically spent $50 million on probably the most epic sports gathering ever, which is like not only bringing the greatest athletes, then like the curation of like panels, contest, fans, trading cards, relevancy. Like it is like a testament to like, you know, sports is something that, you know, in this digital era, a lot of people thought sports would die and kids would lose interest in sports because of gaming and social media. Sports are bigger than ever. Like I was at my kids' all-star tournament in Santa Clarita. I'm talking at 7:30 in the morning. There's like 1,000 people ready, dressed to play for 6 hours, you know, or whatever, all day. And I think like it's a really interesting because sports, I felt like 5 years ago that sports was at like this interesting like fork where kids were choosing other passions and getting interested in other things. And it's just not the case. Sports are bigger than ever. Kids are playing sports at like record numbers. And And I think in the youth, we all felt like these kids weren't going to play anymore. They're all going to go do other things, but they're still active.
Right. That's totally true. I have a question, dummy question, non-sports watcher. Is it alarming at all that other than Wembanyama, everyone that was like celebrated on the stream is 40?
That's also true.
Yeah. Like who's the young star that the kids can't wait to meet?
There was no like.
Okay,
yeah,
but they didn't come.
100% right.
They didn't come. Did Patrick Mahomes come? No.
Oh, right. They would
Why didn't he come?
Yeah. Or SGA probably they would have.
SGA was playing in the finals.
I know, but I'm saying, like, do you think Kai would freak out over a meeting SGA?
Like,
probably?
why didn't the Kelsey bros? Why weren't they there?
You
They're
have
like
to
the
pay
most
these
famous
people.
sports guys.
I know, but like Kai will show up anywhere for free. The rest of these people are not showing up anywhere for free. They're not.
I have like a kind of contrarian take on all of this, which is like the streaming is actually not that interesting or important. It's actually the clipping that makes all of these things like even culturally relevant generally. And the way that I think about it is like the way that we used to watch highlights or like Sports Center back in the day. Like there's only a very small population of people that can just sit through, tens of different games a week and watch all of these things end to end. What's actually like driving the culture in my sense of it is like clipping. And I think clipping is maybe the most underrated marketing function in the world right now. Like you're paying these kids, like $4 a clip, right? And you have the chance to go viral every single time because they're hyper focused on the most interesting moment out of all of these super long things. Like, I don't know if you guys have actually ever watched the stream. The majority of it is like super boring. Like, 95% of it is like super boring. Then 5% is hyper interesting. And then you're paying all of these kids to like sit there and watch it and clip it. And so it's like, I actually don't think streaming, like obviously you need the streams to like generate the clips, but it's actually like what's actually happening here is like people are getting really good at clipping and driving attention to small moments in time in these super long streams.
But
that's actually fair because I started watching, I forgot some show the other day because I saw a good clip. I watched 10 minutes of the show. I'm like, this show is horrible.
Yeah,
like
you can make anything look good with a clip. Like and you like add specific music to it.
So Kai Cenat is trash. He's trash.
My point of view is that Kai Cenat does a lot of things or says a lot of things he doesn't actually do. Like you guys should look into this whole Nigerian school scandal. He owes some Nigerian schools a ton of money from a stream that he did.
Wow, breaking.
What's going on?
That makes sense. Wow. I mean, Kai Cenat in 5 years will not exist, is my prediction. Like he'll be completely irrelevant.
That's probably fair. That's probably fair.
I agree with that.
Not in 5 years. I'm going to go.
Like, look at all the TikTokers. Like, my sense of it is that this is just another, like, Josh Richards and all these people who are like Charlie D'Amelio. Everyone thought they were going to be the biggest thing ever, take over movies and music and television and all this stuff. Yeah. You never hear about any of these people anymore.
Cat Williams said you have to be a plant. You heard his whole Kevin Hart stance. Said he was a plant.
You got to wear a dress.
I think that's kind of true. That's probably true.
Yeah.
He's like, why? I've heard the Cat Williams clip on TikTok so much. He's like, how did this guy come from New York, Philly, and then all of a sudden come to LA and become the most famous actor?
I know, but he was irrelevant for a decade. I remember giving him clothes when he was on Wild and Out. No one gave a fuck about him.
Right. Well, also, you could say the same thing for Will Ferrell, any I don't know, any actor. Yeah, it's like you come from nowhere and then all of a sudden you get the right thing and you're huge.
I do think it does go back to no matter how like independent media has become, there are still gatekeepers.
Hold on 1 second. When Cat Williams says you're a plant, what does that mean?
That means there's like people behind the scenes pulling the strings and putting you in places where people will give you tons of attention without you having to earn that yourself.
And you have to do weird sexual acts behind.
That is probably true. That is like probably 100% true.
And it's essentially like the Illuminati. You get chosen.
Soul planes.
You get chosen.
That's what he said. He's like, then you get soul planes.
The theory is you get chosen, you exchange favors and things, and you become one of the chosen ones. And
just look at the whole Diddy thing. And then who was the fat, really ugly guy who's a producer? Weinstein. There you go. Yeah. I
mean, he was the ultimate.
All of these things. Yeah. That's what I mean.
Yeah.
Right.
And it's like kind of, I feel like kind of just ignorant to like not assume that that's happening in a. I don't know about that, but I do think that it's the clips that make him look more interesting than he actually is.
Right. I think my stance is just in between, I guess maybe where Anand was and where you are, Zach, which is that you're right that the clips are the main propellant, but without the it's the fact that you can go live for 6 hours a day and have this crazy wealth of pool of content to choose from. And then you can dominate an event. So Kai Cenat undeniably dominated the BET Awards, or from certain perspectives, I wouldn't say universally because D's algorithm didn't have him, but the only reason I saw the Fanatics thing was because of Kai Cenat. And so it's just the sheer volume of okay, you have 6 hours of content to choose from. These guys are really good at, they literally do a thing on their stream that's called clip farming. And it's where you do something in the moment that you think will be turned into a clip. And, someone will do something awkward and they'll say, hey, are you clip farming me right now? Or are you blah, 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 whatever. So it's when you have 6 hours a day of a pool of content to choose from, then it even gives you the pool to pull from. And there's totally not many things that can even create that volume. And even to your point, D, it's only because Fanatics spent that much money on that event. But how many events happen in the world? It's Kai has a wide open, or these big streamers, you have a wide open menu of things to choose from that nobody's ever seen. I wouldn't have seen that view of the BET Awards. I wouldn't have even known that they were happening. I probably wouldn't have seen the Fanatics thing, but now he can literally go anywhere. Look, when we used to film a fucking show, you had to get permits and you had to have a crew of 20 people and you had to have a fucking trailer and you had to have 5 camera guys and 3 audio guys. This is a dude and his cameraman with a backpack that can go anywhere.
So I think Zach's right about the clip culture, but I would not know about anything that happened at Fanatics Fest if it weren't for these clips.
Right.
No, yeah, I know, that's but right. you would have seen other people's clips.
There was clips, whatever. Yeah, whatever.
It's just clips. You wouldn't get. You can't over-index that Kai's clips are the only clips that got seen. The algorithm knows you like him, so they're serving you more and more of his clips. Mine was everything just Tom Brady. Now. Yeah, Tom Brady interviewing LeBron. I got it served 500 times. Joe Burrow missing every target during his competition. Tom Brady won the Fanatics Fest competition.
But it's to Zach's point about clips.
And you know what nobody wants to talk about? You know who really created this culture? Andrew Tate. Andrew Tate was the first person to figure out clips and blow himself insanely up. And everybody has copied him.
That's literally Andrew a fact. Tate? That's not an opinion.
No, that's 100% a fact.
Yeah.
Can
you explain Andrew Tate? Because we talked about it years ago, but I think a lot of people of my age do not know who the fuck Andrew Tate is.
Andrew Tate did this really interesting thing where he had a YouTube show for 6 years that nobody watched. And then he basically started to pay people. And he had this online course, which he called a university, where he's teaching people in a pretty scammy way about a bunch of random shit. And he would basically say, if you can drive incremental signups to my course, I'll split them with you. And so he basically said, I'm not going to do any takedowns on any of the things that you do with any of my clips. So you can go, there's 6 years of 15-minute YouTube videos. You can go into any of them, cut them any way you want, add music, add filters, do whatever you want. But if you can drive incremental signups to the university course, I'll split it with you. I think the course was $50 and he was giving them $12 if they got a sign up. And so it's just affiliate marketing based on a large corpus of clips and stuff that they had latently available. And he started this whole thing, which is why you saw hundreds and hundreds of different pages all posting effectively similar things, because they were all making pretty decent money.
And he became the number one Googled person in the world. And the other thing is that Speed, Kai, Neon, all of these streamers also have programs just like that. They incentivize clippers based on reaching certain view metrics, and if you do,
I can talk about this in depth. There's not only do the actual streamers, but also the streaming platforms as well. If you're Twitch or Kick or whatever, they have because obviously this drives interest in the underlying platforms. So they incentivize people. And you know what the craziest thing is? This is actually a really interesting thing. Now kids will start clipping without being paid and show the creators the clips that they're doing in the hopes of getting signed.
Yeah, becoming a clipper is a new job, career path that
you can make a ton of money on it.
Because all record labels are doing it. I've also heard that all labels do it, but they don't. The artists don't even know it.
I would say on my TikTok, most of the clips are not from the talent.
Oh, no,
It's
it's
just
almost
from
never.
No. 99.
I know multiple kids who are doing like $6,000, $7,000 a month, just like coming home from high school, clipping 5-6 different things.
I met with
One of them goes viral.
I met with a kid that has a little clipping business. Said he made $90K in the last quarter.
Oh my God.
That's
from
crazy.
20 clippers.
You can make
I want to be
$100,000
a
a year
political
clipping in high
clipper,
school.
just spreading.
Well, that's the other things. They're doing that too.
Yeah,
yeah.
spreading
you
misinformation
if you
across
just-
the
if
country.
you
Yeah, there's
just
some
clip
Russian
Tucker
clippers
Carlson,
that are hot.
You'll make a fortune.
There's some Russian and
guys putting out-
Chinese.
You can clip anything, which is the most interesting part. Sports, politics. I have insane things on my algorithm, which are clipping like Ukraine war, all the different like bombing clips, all this crazy stuff. You can just whatever drives eyeballs, you can make money on. So everybody's just doing it now.
So what's the mechanism, right? So you're a clipper.
Yeah.
Who's paying you?
It just depends.
The label,
so sometimes
the
it's the
streamer,
streamer,
the
sometimes it's the platform.
Russia.
Sometimes
Russia, Iran.
I would
Wait, like TikTok will pay you?
no Twitch or Kick. Like if you're clipping a Kick streamer, Kick will be like, okay, yeah, here's like $5 for driving people to come watch more Kick streams.
And this is also the new like servicing and paying radio for artists. So if you're Universal Music, you pay clippers now. That's part of your budget to market your new song. So like everyone's clipping.
Yep.
And
So
if you notice, if you look
hot,
at
hot hustle.
if you see a hot clip, click on the page. Usually they're called like, whatever clips. It's its own little brand, and they're usually really good at clipping. Like these people take it very serious how to make the perfect clip, and you get incentivized based on performance.
It's really funny because it's Game 7 NBA Finals. So obviously the game's over. Thunder won, but all day because TikTok knows I like basketball. I was getting Game 7 2016 Warriors Cavs, which was like one of the most epic games ever.
Yeah.
And they just kept feeding it to me all day.
All day. Speaking of Zach, I watched one video of a B2 doing a flyover on South Beach, and my whole fucking feed is about, and I watched all of them. It was about why the stealth capabilities are so good, why another country can't mimic it or defeat it, why, even though it was created in whenever the 80s, it's still relevant. Like my whole day was studying the B2. TikTok is so
speaking
good.
of that, let's get into the biggest topic.
Wait, real quickly. Let's All-In posted their tequila launch.
Yeah.
I went last night. We did really quickly. Jason Calacanis actually listens.
Yeah.
Shout out to Jason.
He was very nice.
I got to try the tequila. What's it called?
Yeah. Send us some promo, Jason.
I don't know what it's called, but
is it called the Besties? I think it's called the Besties.
Tequila.
It might be called the Besties. That's what was on the whatever you call the runway or step and repeat.
Yep.
And super nice, very gracious, knows all of us, and congratulations.
Yeah, send us some tequila, JK.
Yeah,
apparently it's like $1,200 a bottle.
All right, send us a
I
few.
actually like that move. I like that move to
go ultra luxury.
It's like go ultra premium because you don't want to compete with Lo Ciento.
No Ciento. Go super. And plus, like, you don't need the money. I mean, obviously it'd be nice if you got some huge multi-million-dollar exit, but like go super high end, get the buzz.
You know what
the
also
bottle looks crazy. It's great.
Yeah, exactly.
What I loved is they were true to their brand because they talk about poker all the time. There's poker tables everywhere and they're all playing poker. All right. Keep going.
No, they're crushing it. And I know they get a lot of, they're so famous now that most of the time people spend hating on them. That's how famous they are.
Yeah, that's how you know.
That's when you know you're famous.
Yeah. Yes. Like
all I see is like in the White House. I mean, now it's like a new level.
Yeah. I mean, like
he was there. He was there.
That's great.
Their level of fame and influence.
And I've listened to every single of.
Yeah, I think
I've literally listened to every single of their pod, and in 2020 of March when they launched it in COVID, I was like, oh shit, this is awesome, and they've crushed it, and now they've all done like different things since then, and it's pretty awesome.
Yeah, they have become annoyingly influential to the point where I think a lot of people dislike them. And that just tells me, when I see all the people on Twitter complaining about them, I was like, damn, these guys are really famous. Because that means they're actually concerned that they have such a big reach that they are swaying opinion. And that, for like, especially for like the woke, like yourself, like they're very conservative guys. They're not.
No, Jake Hill isn't. Jake Hill is
but like
my guy.
the podcast is conservative.
Right. This
Like
is
the guys in the
2v1.
White House.
They're
It's
3v1. Yeah, the guy's literally in the administration. This podcast is 2v1 and people complain. Theirs is fucking 3v1. And their guests are like, you know, a lot of times very
Tucker Carlson.
right. They love old Tucker.
But
okay,
yeah,
well,
congrats.
Props to them. Shout out.
We need tequila, Jason.
In their words, I need a tasty poo.
Let's get our beak wet, I think. Yeah. Okay, listen, we're at fucking war here. Okay, we don't have time to get drunk.
Is it a war?
We're at war.
Zach is our resident war
He's our
guy.
defense. He's our Department of Defense.
I'm gonna defer to Zach, but I watched Meet the Press this morning because JD Vance was on, and I'm gonna say what he said, and I want to hear what Zach wants to say. JD Vance said, "We are not at war. We are attacking their nuclear facilities."
Yeah.
So this is not a war against the country. It's bombing nuclear facilities. Zach, take the floor.
I think that's right. I think there's a difference between targeted strikes and actual war. War is like full out boots on the ground. You're sending a ton of assets over and like putting them in country somewhere. This, we just sent over a couple of very sick planes over to Iran, and they're like targeted strikes. We've done this in Syria. We've done this a bunch of places.
Like, aren't we kind of like smacking them and then saying like, no, that wasn't a punch. We're not fighting. I just don't think they want that smoke. I don't think they do either, but I think that's a different topic. Don't you think like our planes directly dropping bombs is an act of war?
Yeah, I think that it is a offensive like gesture. Moment in time. Yeah. Like, but I don't think that we are saying, hey, we are going to invade you guys and like put boots on the ground and try to like topple the government. Right. I thought it was really funny though, that the Ayatollah was like already picking successors because he thinks he's going to get assassanated though. I know, that's pretty wild. I would encourage people, 42% assassination chance on Polymarket right now. I'd take a look at that if you're into betting.
Well, didn't Trump say he's an easy target?
The easiest.
He's like, exactly, I can find him.
They know exactly where he is right now. By the way,
Trump said, we're not looking for regime change. Even Marco Rubio came out and said, we're not looking for regime change. So like, they are not targeting him, but someone else might.
Oh, yeah. I mean, there's people a lot closer probably that want him gone. But I think that the thing with regime change is then all of a sudden you have to fill the vacuum that you just created. And so the world will look to America if they take him out and be like, well, you just created a lot of chaos. Yeah. What's the next step?
Isn't that
so that's probably what
they're not going to do
MO, though, a little bit.
But if you ask the average Iranian, especially like, like the younger and people who have obviously left since the revolution, nobody likes this guy. Right. Like everybody wants him out effectively. And I understand like the point of view, although I don't agree that like we shouldn't, be sticking our noses in other people's business. But like generally he's like kind of just a super hated guy. And so,
So I was talking to an Iranian person yesterday at a dinner, and she was saying that they would want a revolution, but like not at the behest of Israel, because I think it sends a wrong message. I think that's a lot
of people's point of view.
Yeah, and I think so. You can't make that change right this moment because it feels like Israel is making that change for you. Yeah, and so that won't fly.
So here's a tweet Zach's buddy Sean McGuire posted today. So Khamenei, who's the Iran Ayatollah, he's 86. Putin's 72. Xi Jinping is 72. Netanyahu's 75. Trump is 79. He said there will be seismic political shifts over the next decade or so.
I'll tell you, Khomeini's living to 100. Trump's living to 100. Putin's living to 100. These people are not dying. I don't think any of these people are dying anytime in the next 2 decades.
He said a decade.
I think it's 2 decades. These people who like these people have all the best healthcare in the world. They're not fucking dying. Putin had like brain cancer, quote unquote, a few years ago, and look at the guy. Right? Like, unless someone...
I just thought it was an interesting tweet.
Yeah, well, it doesn't just feel that way because they're just so larger than life, and like that is a valid thing. I think
there's some truth to that, but then you look like 10 years ago, the fucking North Korean guy died, and they're just running the same playbook still. Yeah. So I think that there's probably some truth in that, but in some of these places that are like extremely nationalistic, they're fairly resistant to change, it seems like.
Yeah, I mean, I look, let's actually talk about what happened. So what happened was 3 nuclear sites were supposedly taken out. We don't know because Iran keeps denying that anything was taken out.
Oh no, they have Google Maps on this right now. You can check it out.
Okay, so
they got
gone.
Smoked. Yeah.
Okay,
yeah.
And so fascinating thing. How many B-2 bombers were sent there?
I think it was like 7 to 9, something like that.
Okay, yeah. That flew from
it was a pretty sick mission. So
can you explain what a B-2 bomber is?
A B-2 bomber is a stealth bomber, costs the U.S. government around $2 billion, and it is
each plane,
and it is shaped, and the material science on the planes are such that they do not get picked up by radar or any of the traditional tracking mechanisms that you might use in the military. And so like the joke always is, if you can see a B-2 bomber, you're not the target, because, the whole point. But anyway, the mission was like super sick because they sent 9, I think, or 7 B-2 bombers. 4 of them went to the Pacific as like a diversion. Like I think they were sent to Guam or something like this. Mm-hmm. And then the other 4 just popped up in Iran because you can't track them. So,
but they flew from here to there. It was like you said, like
36 hours, refueled multiple times.
A bathroom.
They refueled multiple times in the air because
apparently they had a microwave, a fridge, and a bathroom in the plane because you obviously had to live your life. Anyway, keep going. It's nuts.
Yeah, I mean, just the B-2 bomber, one of the most impressive pieces of American hardware ever made.
I do gotta say, like, I'm not a war guy. I wish there was no wars. I wish we never fought a war again. But there's something about seeing these B-2s like in formation flying down the Florida coast and like fucking 36-hour missions and bunker busters. And it's just like, fuck yeah, dude.
Why do you think they do it over NFL games?
So like during the Super Bowl, they do, they usually do a flyover. But the last couple of years, there's been a lot of these domes, so you don't feel it. But when it's in a stadium, when you see it above, seeing this B-2 bomber, it's fucking, you get the craziest chills. You're like, God damn it, we're going to blow the fuck out of anyone who ever looks at us the wrong way.
It does.
The guys who are on the sideline, are crying when the flyover happens.
Yeah.
It's like national anthem.
There's something
flyover.
about it.
Yeah, because it's so powerful. It's just like it's a reminder of just, and this is like the recurring theme, and this is why, like, I think a majority of Americans have gone conservative, is because there is like a deep appreciation if you live in America and you get all the privileges of being an American, and you realize what it took for any country to reach its independence and have its kind of domination. It's basically impossible, right? And so it's like, especially like these older people who have like brothers and cousins and uncles and dads who died in fucking wars.
Right.
Like, that's why they're crying, because they're like, dude, half my family probably died in 100 wars over the last, 75 years. And so it's a lot. And so it's very easy today to go on the streets of New York City and say, like, crazy shit about your politicians and the country. but you weren't around when like shit was at stake. Like,
right. But it's also the reason that you're able to do that is because of that B-2 bomber.
Yeah.
You know, there's something about like, it makes me feel like how like a girl must feel when she feels protected by her big, strong boyfriend. Like you just feel like, man, I'm like, whoa, like there's something so much fucking like, I feel so safe. I feel so like there's something.
I mean,
like shit can get real.
I feel like that when I'm around a friend who can like beat, you know, someone's ass.
Right. It's like when you go to an event and you have security. It's just like for a minute you feel like, oh, the reason I'm able to fuck around and have fun and do a podcast and talk shit is because of that fucking thing.
And I think that the thing that most people don't appreciate is that like what actually a lot of the American military industrial complex is like strength through deterrence, right?
Right.
Like you just want to be the biggest, baddest, most aggressive person in the world because it's like, you know, I guess the analogy would be like, if you're an MMA fighter, how many people are picking a fight with you? You know, if you're John Jones or like any of these guys, how many people are coming up to you and like, you know, trying to start something? Right. And I think that that's like actually a very important thing that like most people don't realize that we have to maintain, because the second that you look weak is the second that like all these other countries, there's so many countries that would love to see America blown off the face of the map, including Iran. Iran has run multiple parades. There's all types of Iranian propaganda where they're like, we need to bomb the West. We need to like end the supremacy of the West. And it's like, you know.
But what about crazy. Like, so are we all like pro this? Like, isn't it also just kind of a bummer that we're like bombing people and shit? Like, or how do we feel?
Well, here's the game theory of it, right?
Yeah.
Like, Iran allegedly was enriching, you know, uranium to basically build a nuclear weapon. There's one place in the world that they would use that nuclear weapon, which is Israel. And obviously Israel is like a very polarizing thing for a lot of people. But if Israel were to get hit with a nuclear weapon, we would 100% be liable to go in there and back them up. And so like effectively what this is like, if we don't want World War III, there's some proactiveness that needs to happen. Otherwise, if you just let...
From my understanding... Oh, sorry, keep going.
Well, I think that it's like, you know, if you let this happen, the chances of World War III happening increase significantly.
Right. So here's just my question. And I haven't decided on a stance yet on this, but to me, my only other side of that is it feels like they've been saying that Iran was close to a nuclear weapon for a very long time. And it feels a little potentially weapons of mass destruction-y. Like, are we sure that
could 100% be the case?
Right.
But like, I will say that if you look at it, weapons of mass destruction led to boots on the ground in Iraq. Like, and, you know, like right now we are just specifically targeting these very specific areas, you know, like, I think that that's the big difference here is that we're not sending aircraft carriers full of troops to go like invade Iran.
So would you, if that did happen, you would be...
I'd be more suspicious 100%.
Right.
But they just blew up 3 sites that everybody agrees had nuclear shit going on at them.
And you don't think they really have like the ability to, or interest to escalate, retaliate in any meaningful way?
Oh, they'd get smoked.
Right. I mean, I guess they did that like fake retaliation when we killed their guy, right? Soleimani or whatever.
Yeah. They would get absolutely smoked, and it wouldn't even be like, I think that you could get like a bunch of people from the American South and they would smoke Iran.
So you think they might just take the L here and this might be a success?
I don't know what they're going to do.
No, I don't think we have any idea.
Here's what I think what will actually happen is I think Iran has to show strength to their people. Israel has to show strength to their people. I think a lot of it will be theatrics because I don't think they all have the capabilities to do what they want to do. But Iran has to do something. They're not going to.
Yeah, but they're already like running out of missiles. They like.
I also think
these people are like
this was
fanatical,
like
right? Like they're not just laying down.
But remember when Trump took out their guy, and then they. What?
Sorry, go ahead. No, that I don't think there were any deaths on the 3 facilities they bombed.
Nobody knows, but yeah, that sounds right.
No.
We haven't seen.
It hasn't been reported that there were like any casualties. Yeah.
So like, was it telegraphed? Like, hey, we're just playing chess.
I think they knew that was the target if there was ever a target, because I think they actually did a really good job of not telegraphing, like with all these fake Netanyahu meetings and sending B-2s to Guam and all this stuff. I think they just knew if anything comes, it's going to be targeted there.
I don't know. I think global geopolitical stuff is way more complex than us as normal citizens, that we have no idea what's really going on. And we can speculate, we can debate, but
everyone else with a podcast microphone's a fucking expert, so why can't we be?
I'm an expert. I know I'm an expert. I know I'm right.
What's your take, D? Like, how do you feel about the action, and what would you guess happens next?
My feeling is, if this is it, then I'm cool with it. Like,
yeah.
So if you just look at the markets, they're kind of flat on futures.
No, they're getting kind of smoked. I was just looking at it.
I was just, what are you talking about?
Oh, I guess they went back up. Yeah.
They went back up. The market doesn't care. Everything's up and to the right.
Market.
Nothing.
Everything's flat.
Come on, let's not be ridiculous.
I mean,
nobody gives a fuck.
But Bitcoin went over 100K. It was at 98.
Yeah.
I mean, everything's up. The market I don't think people realize, and Zach could attest to this because he's out with a lot of different groups of companies and investors. The market under Trump is so fucking optimistic. Nothing matters. People are like over the moon optimistic about the future. That sound right, Zach?
Yeah, I think so. I mean, it's to the point that it's actually kind of scary. Like, it does feel a little bit like 2021. And that like gives me kind of a little bit of pause, but
it's
I do think that we have, it is euphoric, but we do have a lot of things in our back pocket that can like protect us from this for a little while. At the very least, like, rates haven't been cut yet. You know, there's like probably a few rate cuts that we could do before, you know, things got really bad. Like, we do, it's not like we're up against the wall and things are euphoric. We do have some stuff in our back pocket that would.
My counter to that would be, in 2021, we were handing out stimulus and we had low interest rates. Now we have kind of mid to high interest rates, no stimulus, and it's this feeling. So it feels like we have a decent amount of runway of that feeling.
Yeah, but there's also like some, you know, canaries in the coal mine potentially, which is like the last couple treasury sales have been like pretty lackluster, and, you know, the bond market has been a little bit all over the place. But, you know, to your point, anecdotally, the average person feels like pretty optimistic about it all. So I've heard multiple people like in the last week being like, Bitcoin's going to go to 3 million, you know, all of these, like, so
that's incredible.
Yeah. I mean, if Bitcoin goes to 3 million, that means stock S&P 500 at 10,000. So like America's getting richer, right? Like, literally S&P is probably at 10,000.
Did you guys already talk about Jay Powell? Like, is he political or not?
We did talk a lot about Jay Powell on Wednesday.
Like, so you guys already have your take of like not.
I mean, I've been saying he's a moron for 4 years.
Like, don't you think not lowering rates in that last meeting is a little ridiculous?
It is ridiculous, completely ridiculous.
I think the first part we need to rewind is 2021.
Yeah,
summer when inflation was 5.6%. If he had started to raise rates, we wouldn't be where we are today.
Right.
Yeah,
but
now inflation's crashing and he's just doing nothing.
I like the take. I don't know if it's true or not or whatever, but I think this was from All-In actually, that the reason he did that then was potentially because the Biden administration talking point was transitory. And he went along with that, and then there's just.
But either way, he's supposed to be independent, so he's a
understood. Loser. But I agree, he's a loser either way. But I think that the take that he doesn't want Trump to look good and he wanted Biden to look good is interesting.
But he was appointed by Trump.
I know, but I just wonder. I think Trump appointed a lot of people that were just like recommended. Like,
I actually like the take on. I think it was All-In with Tucker Carlson, where Tucker's like at his golf club.
That's what it was. Yeah.
Yes. At like Jerome Powell's golf club in Virginia, they are, you know, they're all telling him, you know, they're all against Trump. They all hate Trump. So any chance they can stick it to him, this is an opportunity to. So like, you know, keep the interest rates going till you have no choice, and let's not be proactive. because what's the benefit to Powell? Like, who cares?
It just feels a little ridiculous on the last one.
I actually want to say the Cotu guy, Thomas Lafont.
Yeah.
He was on All-In this last episode, since we're doing like an All-In, like, hey, they actually know who we are. Great episode.
Well,
they talk about AI, and that guy's a genius.
So the conference they talked about, I went to last year, East Meets West, and since now
it must have been at Rosewood, because it said it was
it's at Rosewood every year. Yeah,
it's ridiculous. So, to credit to Cotu, I'm not even a portfolio company of Cotu, so like, I'm an outsider in that crew, but they looked at us the last 2 rounds, built a relationship with their team. They invited us, and they invited me, and they said, bring your family. And I brought my wife, kids, took care of our stay. My kids had activities, pools, food, insane security. The beach was fucking roped off because it's ridiculous people at this event. It's like,
for sure. Yeah.
The most insane people you've ever met. And it's all like very casual. Like, I'm sitting next to like a Fed Reserve judge or chair or whatever it's called at dinner. It's just like insane how they did it. And I think I mentioned it last year, but the most insane thing was it was Larry Summers, Thomas Lafont, David Sachs, and I think Chamath talking on like not even a stage. It was just like a little elevated area. And they were talking, it was very political. It was about Trump. It was about innovation. It was about AI and all these things. And in the background was a SpaceX launch, there's the SpaceX.
Oh, I remember you talking about that.
Yeah. I remember this.
It was like,
because you took Dom to watch the SpaceX launch, right?
But that was a different time. But Haley and I were at dinner watching, and I'm not even joking. I'm like crazy. Like, I was very emotional about it because it was like,
imagine if a B2 flew over.
Exactly. It literally felt like you're talking about innovation and the future. Yeah. And then like SpaceX, which I would argue is probably the most innovative company of our time by the most innovative person ever. And they're like talking about the future, and you're like watching in a clear California coastal summer sky, this SpaceX launch. I was like, fuck. And then, I sat through all the AI presentation. Satya Nadella spoke. Like, it was crazy. And these guys at Cotu, they're fucking smart. They're really goddamn smart.
They're one of the best performing firms in the history, right, Zach?
Yeah.
They do really well. They also have unlimited money. So I think they have like $2 billion in management fees a year, which is what, like $120 million a month to spend. So I know how much people at Cotu make. It's pretty comical. And if the average person knew how much you made if you work at Cotu, I think that people would be pretty upset by that, to be honest.
but they perform. I'm not mad at that.
No, but I said this on the last pod that Desmond Bain, who D has zero clue who he is, makes $220 million. Why wouldn't you pay a Cotu guy the same number?
They're getting, it's up there. They make LeBron James look broke up at Cotu. That's for sure.
So here's the
what's really sidebar to that? I was telling my wife, we're watching all these kids warm up at 7:30 in the morning. And, these kids are like, their parents, everyone's so intense. They're very intense at 7 years old. And, for us, it's new because our kid just like got into, this level of sport. So it's like a new thing. And I was like, fuck, imagine if they just realized if you're good at math, you can make more money than all Major League combined.
Right.
Oh, not only that, but like you can make that like if you're like 3 years into Jane Street, so you're like, I guess 24 years old, you're clipping $5 million a year, easy.
And then think about it. You're doing that for the next 40 years.
That's right.
What are like, can you just tell me, because I honestly don't know this, even maybe just in quick terms, but like, what is the job of that 24-year-old? Like, what are they doing?
They're building like statistical models around what the market does. that are like actionable, right? So they will create a model that basically says, let's just take a random example. Commodities tend to trend a specific way when this macro thing happens.
Right.
And so every time we notice this trend happening, we will automatically invest a lot of assets into XYZ places because there's this trend that has existed that we are just following.
Got it.
So they are like creating all of these mathematical models around the way that different
Markets
inputs
react.
in the world interact with each other.
Right.
And then they get really complicated because, you could basically go down the biggest rabbit hole ever. Like, ships in the Red Sea. If there's X amount of ships in the Red Sea, it does this to soybean prices in Venezuela, which in turn, does this to chilies or whatever, and you can just keep going down that rabbit hole and
got it.
Drawing
so they're just
conclusions.
super math nerd.
Yeah.
Well, it's just a little edge, right? And that's all you need.
I mean, all you need, because they have so much money, all you need is like, 0.1%, and that's hundreds of millions of dollars.
Right. Okay, that's
yeah,
cool.
because like if you look at the difference between the S&P 500 and then like the most successful funds in the world, it's a few percentage points.
No, except Renaissance. Like, I don't know.
Yeah,
There's
except for
Rentec.
Renaissance.
The Medallion Fund is like 66% over the last 30 years.
But that's like one.
If you think
That's one
about
fund.
oil traders that are like very sophisticated, they must have made a fortune over the weekend with all this geopolitical stuff.
Any volatility is good for all of these guys.
Right.
Things staying flat is like the worst.
It does. If I'm going full conspiracy, if you look at the size of these funds, they're in the hundreds of billions of dollars, if not in the case of Blackstone, in the trillions of asset management. For 50 billion, you can cause a lot of chaos.
Oh, I mean, like there's a lot of funds that probably are doing a lot of interesting things, let's say. Yeah.
Think about it. You just talked about, if I wanted to start a clip farm, what's that costing me? 10 grand a month?
Oh,
not
less.
even.
You're paying like $4 or $5 a clip.
Okay,
it just depends on how big you want it to be. Yeah.
If I follow like the meme stock people on Twitter. They've all been pushing Oscar and Lemonade the last month. So I've been tracking them very closely. Both
Oscar's
stocks
on fire.
Yes, because if you're thinking about it from a clip perspective, if I'm a hedge fund,
Lemonade's on fire. Yeah.
You could just create the narrative that these companies are doing something great, have 500 people post it. The stock is up 50%
Yeah, no, I've seen Lemonade. I've seen Oscar. Obviously, I have a close friend that.
I know, but like it has nothing to do with the business. It's content.
No, I know, but I'm just saying the stock is on fire.
Wouldn't that be technically illegal if they found out that you were paying?
It is technically illegal, but like
it's like what Portnoy was doing during
here's
COVID.
Here's the thing that's much more likely is that they just have the most sophisticated models to react to any of this stuff. If it was down 50%, they would also be making tons of money.
Right.
Like it just doesn't. It just has to move.
It just has to move.
It just has to move one way or the other.
Yeah.
It just can't be zero.
I wonder if you're one of these guys, like just a curious question. And I do believe probably maybe a couple of people got tipped off, but that these Iranian strikes were incredibly secretive. But like you're finding out about that and you must just be like rushing to react if you're running one of these funds,
like
right?
the like my understanding of it is that you have these statistical models that are like, 9 B2s just left a base in Oklahoma. Right. What is our confidence interval that this ends up in an Iranian strike?
Right.
And they probably have the most sophisticated guesses in the world.
Because everyone knew, they did know that they left.
It was leaked that the bombers
people on Twitter
left.
were talking about it all the time.
Yeah.
Right.
So they were probably like, this is an 85% chance. And now you have like the thing that I think has like really democratized this is stuff like Polymarket, Kalshi, et cetera, because you're actually getting live lines on the statistical likelihood of things. But what really is like the truth is that all of these funds have had these live statistical lines on everything for decades.
That's so fascinating.
I mean, just think about like now hearing you say it, you could literally do it for anything.
Oh, for anything.
Yeah.
There was like Jim Simons, who's the most famous person at all, who like basically created this asset class.
He's Renaissance, right?
Yeah, he's the Renaissance Technologies guy. He's like, he has this famous line where he's like, I know what oil prices will do based on the length of skirts in a Parisian summer or whatever, which just like goes to say that they can just draw conclusions from any two sets of data by like raw compute and like just the smartest mathematicians in the world.
That's insane.
No, it's insane. So I want to touch on two things before we wrap, because I know we're already at 55 minutes. One, the biggest flex this week is you're at a wedding in Venice.
Yeah.
What?
Not Venice, Abercrombie.
No, Venice, Italy.
Well, there's only one wedding
Bezos.
that matters.
Oh.
I got an email from someone I can't name, said like, hey, I'm at a wedding in Venice. And then I was like, on Twitter, I was like, oh, this person's at Bezos' wedding. Big flex this week.
I mean,
I
that's
might
the
just
biggest
make that my
flex.
auto reply tomorrow on my email.
Yeah.
Yeah.
By the way,
Venice, be back Tuesday.
if you just want to enjoy like what feeling poor looks like, go on Daily Mail, check out Lauren Sanchez and Jeff Bezos wedding. Today they had a little foam party at the top.
Nice.
Lauren and Jeff just doused in foam while they make out and have a great time.
Nice.
Unbelievable content. The kids who are on the boat are golfing. They're hitting golf balls off one of the decks. The boat is $500 million, if those that are keeping track. And I'm dying to know who they invited.
I think just famous people.
They rented out the whole city. Every single hotel room in Venice is actually rented out for this, I think.
This is the exact argument to why, like, you just have to be really good at math, because he was a hedge fund guy, right? Jeff Bezos.
He worked at one of these quantitative hedge funds. He worked at like Hudson River. Hudson River, I think. That's his whole background. Yeah.
Yeah, math is the key. Yeah.
If you want to flex on someone, just say you're at a wedding in Venice this weekend.
I'm having lunch in Venice.
Well, capitalism is alive and well.
And then the second thing is I saw on Axios that American tourists are getting sprayed with water guns in Paris, Barcelona, Lisbon, and Venice.
That's nonsense. I have like 500 friends in Paris. No one's getting sprayed with anything.
I just got back from France. Did not get sprayed.
Exactly.
Fake news.
Maybe with champagne.
That's the liberal fake news.
That is the biggest fucking liberal. Axios is fucking fake news. They're fucking full of shit.
It happened one time. It was probably a fucking YouTube prank, and now it's beware. It's also the same way there's all these articles about like beware traveling to the US because we're fucking locking people up.
Yes, the whole world has said travel warning to come to the US.
Right.
I will leave you with one thing that was I was really fascinated with, which made me like extremely patriotic. So I had a meeting with a Chinese retailer in our office the other day, and the lady from China was talking about, she's just like, I was like, how's business? They're they're a US consumer base, and she was like, pretty good. And I'm like, how's business in China? She goes, pretty soft. The economy's tough. She's like, I just don't get it. She's like, stock market's at all-time high. People keep spending in America. Like kind of saying it in a condescending manner. And I was like, it's America. We have unlimited money. We'll always have more money than everyone. There's nobody better than us. We're the best.
Have you seen our fucking B2s? Clear. You better pipe down.
Yeah, exactly.
Let's send one of those things your way.
Not only do you need our bomber, you need all of our money too.
Yeah.
Because none of these fucking companies exist without our money. Make it crystal fucking clear to the rest of the world.
Yeah.
So do you think the Bezos wedding is non-social, or everyone's posting?
I think they're probably posting after the wedding.
Yeah, you can't post.
Like Magic Johnson's posting.
I don't know. We could look.
You can't stop him.
Oh, I think that Magic Johnson is not nearly rich enough to be posting.
Yeah.
Like
he's broke at that thing. You kidding?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Guys, one step away from a waiter.
Did you guys talk about how rich the Labubu guy is yet?
22 billion.
No, we haven't. Well, we just said that it was booming, but when you sent me the post of he's worth $20 billion.
How funny is
22.
that? 22.
The stock's up
And I'll give you my
year to
hot
date.
take. Most people don't have a Labubu yet.
No, not even.
Like 99% of the population does not have a Labubu yet. In 6 months, he's going to be worth $100 billion.
Yeah, that might have been your best
crazy
prediction on the pod.
Yeah,
I mean,
Just because of the sheer like undeniability.
Yeah.
If you think about all the people who've made so much less money for like the fucking WhatsApp guy made like 8 billion. You know what I mean? Like,
And he transformed communication.
Yeah, exactly.
Right.
That's what I mean. Yeah. I mean, Labubu is like the funniest thing of all time.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
I don't think it's stopping.
Doesn't it just turn into Beanie Babies?
It hasn't started. It hasn't started.
I know
It's
people
early.
think it's a fad. I think it's not even started.
No,
could
it is
be-
a
it could
fad.
be
It's
Beanie Babies,
100%
yeah.
fad. As the person who predicted it, it will be so fucking lame next summer to have a Labubu. It'll be the lamest
That's a
thing on
hot
earth.
take. It's a hot take.
If you,
I think that's right.
Clip it, Josh.
clip it, and I will tell you for a fact, next summer, if you have a Labubu on your fucking Birkin or on your belt loop, you're toast.
But what about like, don't you think it takes that long to like make it to mass? Like it's still in the Birkin
So hold on,
crowd.
drama. You have a largely female-based employee base.
Yeah. Do they like Labubu?
Are they Labubus?
I don't know. It hasn't come up. I don't know. I honestly don't know. But what I would say is that the sign to me of early Labubu days is it's still mainly being hung from Birkins.
Yes, but
So that
this
takes like 2
is my
years.
argument. I'll tell you why. I said this on the last episode. The problem with Labubu, the challenge with Labubu is it didn't start with children. It started with fashion. And everything in fashion gets played out and dies.
Right.
And that's the problem. If it started with little kids, then little kids would keep it on going forever. Like
You know who we
Legos
need
and
to-
Pokemon and all these things.
You know who?
But don't you think they
who
can
we need
figure
to
out how to
get on?
brainwash these 10-year-olds?
They
They've got
have to
22
brainwash
billion.
fast.
What's Bobby Hundred's position at Disney now?
He's like a creative director at Disney.
And someone mentioned to me, Disney should buy Pop Mart.
Why? They can't afford
And
it.
Yeah, they can't
I
afford
looked,
it. Yeah.
and it's $100 billion bigger than Disney.
Yeah, there's not even on the same. But that might be renminbi. That might not be their currency. You may have seen it, but it doesn't
No,
matter. Disney can't afford it.
So should we short Pop Mart? Is that the
No.
Is that
I
how we
think
get
for the next 6 to 12 months, I would say even 12 months. The problem is no one has got their hands on it yet. So the tail is very long on this one. Like
But-
in a year, 6 to 12 months from now, like
Do you
Young
remember?
Thug
Do
is
you
going to
remember how
walk out with
Do you remember how
17
quick,
Labubus.
Beanie Babies crashed though? Like it wasn't like a slow death. It was like a fucking nosedive, you know?
But it's
I
still
promise you,
everywhere.
like if Disney, if anyone at Disney's not like a moron, you'd start clipping that it's not cool to wear them, and you could end this trend. You could literally end it if you're Disney. But no one at Disney is smart enough. No one at Disney has me there, so they're never going to figure this out. But that's what you should do.
So I have the idea. We work with the hedge funds. We start clipping that Labubu is whack, and we build massive short positions on Pop Mart. And we just start paying everybody to clip that Labubu.
All you got to do, honestly, we should pay Young
that's
Thug.
what Billions was, right?
Yeah, I have a better idea. Let's pay Young Thug $10 million to diss Labubu.
Like
Is he the
like a
biggest
full
star?
song.
No, you need Bieber.
No, you need like Playboy Cardi.
No, Cardi and Thug are the most influential by far.
Yeah.
Yeah, Cardi could probably do it single-handedly.
If Cardi disses Labubu, it's a wrap. They're done.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably true.
You could end like a $50 billion company because Cardi disses it.
$320 billion. What are you talking about? 50?
No, but I think you're looking at the wrong currency conversion. It's not that much.
I mean, if the founders were 22 billion, you got to imagine the company's worth 322 billion.
Yeah, but
He didn't own half the company.
Yeah, but he doesn't own 7% either. Yeah,
so we should sigh up. I still think this is a great idea, and how we get our boat for next summer is we manufacture Labubus just to be not very cool and just ride it all the way down.
I think anything like this you can kill with clipping. Now that I know how clipping works.
Yeah. I honestly, I'm sorry to go back to this, but I think that you can control public sentiment with clipping for a de minimis amount of money, so much more than people actually realize. Yeah. And like no big company has actually figured this out yet. It's only these like very internet native companies that figure out how powerful this stuff is.
Yeah. If I was like I think any really rich person, celebrity, or obviously any owner of a big company should have sort of like, what's it called? Blackwater or whatever, the mercenary.
Yeah, Blackwater.
You should have like a Blackwater of clippers. And they just, whether it's your public image, your new product, your whatever. I agree with you, Zach, that the cost to influence ratio is dramatically.
Do you know what the analog to this to me is like, remember when Wall Street's bets just like mooned GameStop?
Yeah.
That was like effectively like the cousin of what we're talking about here, which was just a bunch of people on internet forums, like quote unquote clipping their point of view on why GameStop was just the best thing ever. Right.
Well, I mean, like, if we wanted to, effectively influence perception of a business, and we spent, call it 25 grand.
Oh yeah, we could spend like $100,000, and honestly, I think it would have a meaningful impact.
I think we should secretly do it, document it, and just tell everyone after the fact.
And if the SEC is listening, this is all in Grand Theft Auto.
Just joking. In Grand Theft Auto.
I'm not even saying like it has to be a publicly traded company. I'm more interested in like, can you change the sentiment of anything? Like,
you 100% can.
Like, for example, like let's think of a restaurant that everybody loves, Din Tai Fung. If we went, if we went
29,
if we spend 200 grand, can we just destroy Din Tai Fung
easily for less than 200 grand? I think easy for less than 200 grand. If you have 100 people, have 100 people go into Din Tai Fung, walk out and throw up, and then have clippers clip it, and it'll appear to every person like everyone that goes to Din Tai Fung pukes on their way out. So you think
you could destroy any consumer brand?
No, I think I could destroy a country.
No, I think you could destroy almost any consumer brand.
You can destroy almost anything.
At least to the point where you could profit quite handsomely off of it.
By the way, I think you could also create.
He's right. It's 329 billion
renminbi.
Hong Kong dollars.
Which is 7.
It's 50 billion USD, but this dude still owns 22 billion USD.
Yeah, that makes more sense.
Yep.
So I was wrong.
Clip it.
Clip it.
That's the new clip it, gang.
Gangy.
Clip it, gangy.
Chat.
But I believe it. I think you can create excitement or destroy excitement for anything based on what I learned about clipping.
Well, I also would like to just say real quick, sorry, Zach, is I think that you have to look at it through the lens of that is what's already happening.
Yeah, no, 100%.
Like meaning most things that people love and most things that people hate are manipulated by this sort of strategy.
And you know what? What's the even like crazier meta version of this? I don't know if you guys have been tracking on like TikTok and Instagram. Like, there's like all the AI influencers, so it'll be like the Yeti or like a random like groundhog or whatever, and they like have all of these like insane. Have you seen this? People using Google VO3.
Yeah. So the only thing I've seen about it, which I'm a huge fan of, the gorilla who fought the 100 guys. Gorilla. He's talking about. He's like, man, the first guy I took him out like interview.
Dude, that's what I think.
What?
You know what I think the downstream effect of this is that you don't even need human clips at the end of the day. Like I think at a certain point, you could just manufacture. You could like take an AI model and create 100,000 clips of a particular sentiment and just flood the internet with them for effectively even less than what we're talking about right now. And you could probably influence people's point of view on something really significantly.
I would also argue, at the risk of going too far here, that that's essentially the same strategy that a lot of these like manufactured like protests are using. Is you do an event, it gets quote unquote clipped on all of the media and on all the social media, and you can very easily influence, let's say, opinion on Tesla or opinion on what. And I think it's the same strategy. You should see.
When I was in Europe last week, the amount of people who were asking me if like Los Angeles was even still standing,
right?
Oh yeah,
because of the No Kings protests. Bro, I was like, that was in like the smallest part of LA,
literally, like contained, incredibly contained. Yeah. The amount of people I see driving around with, anti-Elon Tesla Club stickers, and the thing that I called them out on this pod and said that was super lame, and people wrote to me and said, "Hey, we're doing that so that our cars don't get keyed."
Yeah.
That's how much like the perception of like people were scared to even drive a Tesla around. And I think it's way more manipulation than
that's insane.
A lot of people realize.
I saw Kyrie post in front of Anta.
Yeah.
Is the brand that big that in Beverly Hills, he's standing in front of the store. That hasn't opened yet.
Fun fact, Anta is the third largest footwear brand in the world, behind Nike and Adidas, and they have the funds. So what's interesting is my takeaway from my China trip was that the Chinese brands are now like becoming popular. Pop Mart broke the mold. If you've been to New York City recently, there's a very, 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 very extremely popular Pop Mart-esque chain called Hey Tea that is from China. That is literally on every corner, and the lines are out the door. It's like it's like boba, coffee, whatever.
It's delicious. I just had some. It's so good.
Yeah, exactly. And so I think what's happened is that historically, when you thought about a Chinese brand, you said copycat. You didn't say they were innovative, and you didn't say that they were unique. Today, Pop Mart, Haiti, Anta are showing you that like Chinese people have caught up, not only in terms of like innovation, but like marketing. The fact that they have Kyrie Irving, who's one of the most popular, he has one of the most popular kids' shoes right now from Anta, which adults don't know
Kyrie
that, but like kids,
Kyrie's one of the most influential athletes in the world. Yeah, I'd say he's probably top 5,
especially with really young athletes. He's very, very popular.
Can I ask you a question about your trip to China real quick?
Yeah.
I heard that like the number one status symbol for like really rich Chinese people is Arc'teryx. Have you heard anything about this?
Arc'teryx is the hottest brand in China by 10x compared to everything else. Like,
what is it? I haven't even heard of this.
What? So let me. I'm going to tell you the irony of Arc'teryx. I'm going to tell you the irony of Arc'teryx. There's a company that owns Solomon, which is a French brand.
Yep.
Arc'teryx and
Solomon's
Wilson.
a rich white guy brand.
Okay. It is owned by Amer Sports Group. Guess who owns Amer Sports Group? Anta.
No way.
Arc'teryx is a Chinese fucking brand for all intents and purposes.
That's incredible. And somebody just told me that all the Chinese billionaires, their status symbol is Arc'teryx.
Yes. Like, I'm telling you, we work with every major retailer in China. All they want is Arc'teryx. That's it. It's I've never been able to get my hands on Arc'teryx for the purpose of our business. It's impossible. You go to Arc'teryx in Soho in New York, 100% Chinese people.
Yeah.
Like, people in America don't give a fuck about Arc'teryx.
So is it a New Balance?
But it was like a cool guy, like North Kanye. Face. Yeah.
Arc'teryx is like a North Face. It's like
it's
really
not shoes?
No, it's high-end technical shoes. Wear for like mountaineering. Yeah, Patagonia North Face.
But
yeah.
a high end, higher end.
But even higher end, yeah.
But like Kanye used to rap about it. Like it was kind of like streetwear-y.
Yeah. Montclair?
It is. No, it's not like designer. It's like extremely technical.
Very technical, yeah.
Picture like
it's like for people who like mountaineer and stuff.
Like it's like
literally North Face.
None of these Chinese people are mountaineering.
No, but it's just like
no, mountaineering is big in China. Hiking, outdoors.
Yeah,
these Chinese people are mountaineering.
It's like, you know, how it becomes cool to wear like high level fucking technical, Salomons are like super technical hiking fucking whatever shoes, what the Navy SEALs wear, but like so does Chad, in West Hollywood at fucking Lemonade. Like it's like cool to have the technical.
What I heard was that like 3 years ago, Chinese billionaires only wore Under Armour, and now they're only wearing Arc'teryx. That's
Under Armour's big out there too. But yeah, Arc'teryx is like, I'm telling you, like the hottest brand ever.
Yeah,
in China.
That's cool. Okay, good call.
Is it publicly traded?
It's owned by Inta. Inta is publicly traded in China. Yeah.
Maybe we should go long into.
We might lose to China long term.
Amir Group is actually publicly traded in America, actually, which owns Arc'teryx and Salomon.
Oh, that might be the one. Clip it.
That might be the one. And it's on fire. The stock's on fire. But it feels like it has long legs.
I just feel like China's solving a lot of scary problems. They're also losing a lot of things, but no, like brand and culture.
Yeah,
like social media.
That was my biggest takeaway from the China trip. Like, oh shit, they're so good at digesting and copying, but like now they actually are becoming cool, and that is very dangerous.
They're AI with taste.
I'm telling you, like what they've done on like fashion and like Pop Mart is like their first like I mean, if I'm the Chinese government, I am protecting and making sure Labubu never fades.
Do you think do you I would be curious on your opinion on this. Do you think that China could create an LVMH, like something of that scale and cultural importance?
100%.
If they technically own Arc'teryx, I don't see why you couldn't. You know what I'm saying?
If you're Arc'teryx, Salomon, like
because you can acquire. If you acquire French brands, I mean that's essentially LVMH. Like, I don't see why not.
Yeah,
I mean between TikTok and Labubu, they control the American
and fentanyl. Don't forget the fentanyl.
Bro, they got us with the fentanyl.
My guy,
they fucking got us. I mean, other than their economy and population issues, which are big ones, they got us in some headlocks that I don't know if we totally realize. Like the fact that we talked this whole episode about clipping and taking down companies and the power of it, that's all happening on TikTok.
Yep.
Yeah.
The craziest headlock's the pharmaceutical one. That's the scariest one by far.
Exactly. Yeah. All right. Well,
like 80% of pharmaceutical precursors just come from mainland China.
Yeah, that's a problem.
Not great.
All right. Well, hey, we got a B2 and I haven't seen any of theirs. So
not only do we have a B2, there's a new B2 coming out in the next couple of years.
Like a B21.
It's going to be even sicker.
It's black and yellow.
B21.
Yeah, black and yellow. That shit's probably already out. We just don't even know it.
The B21 is going to go crazy hard.
Yeah, let's go. When that drops. When it all comes down, it's like, fuck it. We'll still B2 your ass.
Yeah.
You can keep your Arc'teryx, dumbass.
You can wear the jacket.
see if that protects you from a bunker buster, you idiot. USA. We good? Should we end on that?
Yeah, yeah, that's great. We have a couple comments. First one is from Joe Gel Chucky 619. I don't mind having less episode, just busting balls. Plus, you guys spoiled us. Day one listeners, man, you used to do a pod every day. Shout out to Short Story Long. That's her drama advertised group shot. All right. Woo. Couple shout outs here from Cindy. Please give a shout out to my husband, Cody. Long time group chat. Kathy, happy 40th birthday. I love you. All right. Happy birthday, Cody.
Shout out.
From Kyle, shout out to my boy Nikki, aka Fish Fillet, for being day one Kathy. We randomly both realized that we both tune into every episode. He just got a new job in LA and is crushing it. Also, equal shout out to Andy Bennett for putting me on the group chat. P.S. I see that golf swing improvement drama. Hit us with what's in that bag on the next pod. Wow. All right.
Hell yeah.
From DT.
Are you getting better?
No, not really.
From DT, shout out to one of my best friends, Kendall, on landing a new gig at Nike HQ. Proud of all you've overcome in this past year. Nike HQ is hot. It's really hot. from Sae. Shout out to my mom, Benaz Movaded, for being an amazing mom and owner of her new dental practice. I'm so proud of her, and I appreciate her constant love and support. Long time, Kathy here. They actually visited us years ago, so it's great to see they're doing well. Shout out to their dental practice. All right, guys.
Is that it?
Yeah.
Okay, Zach, thanks for joining as always.
Yeah, thank you, Zach.
Yeah.
Fun time.
America first. Hopefully we have a nice calm week of no escalation, and everyone have a good one. Peace in the Middle East, as they say.
Is that what they say?
Yeah, that's a saying.